what's up, Patriots? This is Andorra Blattner, and welcome back to my channel. So today, we have with us Mr. Randy, and I'm just going to ask him a few questions about his time in the military. So, why did you decide to join the military?
At the time, I knew there were some things I wanted to do and I couldn't do probably any other way. I was not ready for college. I knew I wanted a technical skill for a career. I wanted to travel, I wanted to see the world, I wanted to get away from home. And there's no way that I could see affording this any other way. Plus, I just wanted to be in the military. I wanted to serve in a service, to be a part of something bigger than what I was on my own or any kind of organization I had been a part of before. So military fit the bill for everything. I knew I was going to do it for a long time. So the decision of actually jumping in and doing it was not hard for me. I thought about it for a long time.
So how did you start the process of joining the military?
Basically it starts with a recruiter one way or another, but you have to figure out what career field you want, what interests you. If you're good at science and math, or even if you're not good at it, but it interests you, there's a wide range of skills out there that you can go get from training that they need. But you have to remember, they are looking to fill certain jobs that are priorities in our openings. Some are really hard to get into, meaning complete the training because either technically, physically, those kind of things, to qualify and just make it through the training and be in that job. Some of those are pretty tough, and those are the ones that may be the hardest to fill. So they may point you in a direction of jobs that they have to fill, but what you really need to do is do your own homework, because there might be jobs they're not advertising as much, and it might be what you really want to do.
Okay.
So you need to investigate on your own everything that's available in whatever service you want to go into. And focus on that rather than they're telling you the job of the week that just happens to be open, because it may or may not be what you want, and you are picking something it's gonna determine your life for 5 or 6 years or longer if you like it and decide to stay. And if it's not something you like, you could just be stuck for a few years, or it may open up a career for you that you never thought you would like or do, and it ends up being your whole career, which is what it did for me.
What branch were you in? And also, what was your job?
Okay, I served 20 years in the Navy. My specialty, my background, my skill was power generation and power distribution. I was in a part of the Navy that actually doesn't go on ships normally. It's like the shore side of the Navy. Navy Seabees were formed in World War II. And so my experience in the Navy was different from a lot of other people that typically would join and get on submarines or surface ships or aviation, something like that. I was in a smaller, different part of the Navy. Again, not as big, different kind of mission, but supported the larger Navy as a whole. So I spent a lot of time on ships, just not deploying on ships and going to sea, which turned out for me to be a good thing. And I like that. I ended up getting into a career field and a job I really liked, and it led me to staying.
Nice. So you mentioned traveling earlier. So what were some of the places that you were able to travel to while you were in the Navy?
I really wanted to travel, and I found a program I could do a lot of traveling in, and I did. It was mostly Asia, mostly Europe. I can't remember how many countries I went to when I was in the Navy, but I've been to, between the Navy and out of the Navy, I've been to 25 countries. Mostly Europe, mostly Asia. I really loved Asia, ended up staying there a long time, and met my wife there, got married there, and that ended up being my favorite. Early on, I loved Europe the most, and later on, I liked Asia the most, so that's kind of how it turned out.
Did you ever visit Antarctica?
Yeah, I spent 4.5 months in Antarctica. There's a thing called a dream sheet in the Navy, and and you list all the places in the world you want to go. And the ones that are available to you kind of depend on your career field and what they need where, but it's got I don't know how many countries and what parts of the world and what types of duty are on this list. And basically you fill it out and you send to the people who make these decisions, and the next thing you know, you're going somewhere. So at the time, of every place in the world that is to possibly go, I put one thing at the very top of my list, and I wanted to go to Antarctica because there's so few opportunities to go there, and it's just something I wanted to do, and I was young and crazy and wanted adventure, and that was it. And I put my number one thing on my entire list is Antarctica, and I got it. I went. I spent 4.5 months down there, and I'm glad I did, because that's a hard one to get. Most people, there are cruise ships going there for small little stops or everything, but to actually go there, stay there, and go to the interior of Antarctica is kind of a rare thing.
Do you have any fun stories that you would like to tell of your time in Antarctica?
Yeah, a couple of things. The first station I was at, I worked on a power plant. We lived in the power plant. And in the power plant was the best bar on an entire continent. We had a bar in the power plant next to where we lived, next to where the generators run in the power plant. So we had our own bar. We lived in this bar. You know, people would come in and, you know, want to hang out in our bar. And it was well known. And it was basically, it might have been the best bar in an entire continent. And it was like, you know, next door to my room. So that was neat. There are some interesting initiations you have to go through in Antarctica. Some are voluntary, some are involuntary. I can't believe I'm telling this story. One of them I did not, it was called the 200 Degree Club. And your body undergoes a 200 degree temperature change. So what you do is you go sit in a sauna at 120 degrees, and then you leave the sauna wearing only boots, and you run outside and have your arm around a statue of Admiral Byrd. Okay? If you do this, it's called the 200 Degree Club. I never did it because your body's undergoing a 200 degree temperature change. So I missed out on that one. I didn't do. That I wish I did. I missed that one. We'll just leave it at that, I guess.
So, based on how the country is right now, if you were able to, would you join the military again?
I would, because I had such a good time. I met so many friends that I still keep in contact with. I had a friend call me last week. I've known him for 38 years. And we just caught up, and I've met some of the greatest people in the military. There's every kind of person imaginable in the military. I've served with people from India. I served with a guy who, he was from Krakow, Poland. And he got a visa, came to America. He was a taxi driver in Manhattan. And he joined the US Navy and spent at least 20 years in. And he was the happiest, proudest person, great guy, liked being around him, and he was so proud of his Navy service, being an American. So there's this really great experience of all the people you meet, all the different kinds of people that you meet. That's what that's what still follows me out of the Navy, is all these people I met and served with. There are still great opportunities for training, for travel, and to serve. It is all still there if you go get it and seek it, and you make up your own mind and set your own goals. It's still there. That adventure is still out there if people want to go get it.
Is there anything you would like to let people know about the military? Just any other stories? It's up to you.
You know, people, internally we have a need we may not recognize, and that is being a part of something much bigger than yourself. People are looking for something, to be a part of something, and the military does provide that. You're part of a very large organization with a very important mission, and a lot of people dedicated to the same thing. And being a part of that, even no matter how hard the conditions are, even if you don't like it, what you're doing or where you're at the time, it's still pretty rewarding to go through something like that and be a part of that. And you will learn lessons that will carry on the rest of your life you may not be able to learn anywhere else. So for me, military was a really positive thing, a really good thing, and I'm really glad I did it. And would I do it again? Yeah, I would.
Well, thank you.